Shalom. It's your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Shem Shai, whom I worship. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. All right, salutations to the Akim, the confusion of face Akim, that are doing this work in truth and sincerity on the highways and byways, making their bodies a living sacrifice, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. All right, may we all endure to the end. All right, just watching a couple of videos that in the spirit jumped on me to do what I'm about to do now. One of them was of Apostle Ariam Lab, and he went into Habakkuk. So I'm going to go into Habakkuk and just add a few other scriptures and just kind of land back off of what he did. I also watched a video about the upcoming war with Russia, China, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and America, Israel, woo up the bam, all that being days away. All right, so let's jump into it. So this is Habakkuk 2:1, and it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right. And so now the prophecies are playing on tables. It's playing in front of your face, man. It was written in these books on these tables, but now they're happening and they're right in front of you. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. I mean, they're not tarrying, man. I mean, it's happening. Okay. This is the verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. So the Israelites, Salakia. Let me just let this dog, Salakia, dog like a little kid, man. And it said, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. All right, and the just is the Israelites, man. And not just the Israelites, but the elect of Israel, which is something that a lot of Israelites are not talking about. They're talking about this all Israel and all Israel back together. And no, all Israel doesn't get back together until the kingdom come, man. All right, there is a joining of the two sticks, which is the northern and the southern kingdom. The Latinos and Native Americans are being joined back to the Negroes, but only the elect of them, not all of them. Okay, the majority of them are against this truth, man. The majority of them are Christians and Catholics and Muslims and worshiping voodoo and Santeria and all other, Buddhism. A Jake being a Buddhist. I mean, all other manners of witchcraft and wickedness, man. And then of course the wicked is the Edomites, the so-called white man. All right, verse 5. Yea, also he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man. All right, and that wine is his false philosophies, his lies, his fake and fraudulent history, the changing of words and controlling the narrative. All right, by controlling information, man, controlling your thought process by giving you a false definition and giving you false information. And then when the truth is showed to you, you're looking at it sideways. All right, you believe the lie more so than the truth. But the so-called white man who was Esau Edom, his whole existence is built upon a lie, man. So-called white superiority, red superiority, because they're really red, is built upon fabrications and lies, which is easy to dismantle. But when you control all the outlets of news, when you control the very books that people read, and all the so-called universities, so all the places that are supposedly credible are teaching the same lies. So of course the majority of people are not they're gonna go with what they've been taught, what they know, man, which is the lies. Okay, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, and gathered unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto himself all people. And who's done that? The so-called white man. All right, in order to continue to use his petrodollar, he sets up his militaries in your land. All right, he's constantly going into other people's lands and bringing his philosophies, his lies. All right, And then he subjugates those people, and he brings all people together under his banner. They did the same thing in Rome. They're doing the same thing now. And the same way Rome fell within, all those people you brought in rose up against you because they got tired of being treated as second and third class citizens, while the original Romans were treated better. And that's exactly what's happening here. Okay? Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, saying, Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his? How long unto him that layeth unto himself thick clay? And Esau increased things that did not belong to him. He took things, stole them, and then built wealth upon his stolen property, man. And then he's laid up himself to thick clay. And when you look that word up, that word means debt. America has a heavy debt, and it's a debt-based currency system, which the nations of the world that was spoken of right here shall not all these nations, they're taking up a parable against him, man. All right, you got, and one of the ways they're fighting against Esau is with their cryptocurrencies. You know, the cryptocurrencies is one of the ways of battling the dollar, man. All right, why do you think they're having EMP drills in America and in other countries, and ICBM missile tests all around the world, man? Why? Because they're preparing, man. EMP and ICBM drills on all sides. Why? Because this is going to happen. All right, and we're living in those days and those moments where it's about to occur. Shall they not all rise up suddenly and bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? They're going to spoil this place, because the scriptures clearly said, when thou ceases to be spoiled, thou shalt be spoiled. All right, that's why Esau's trying to push this hate speech and blah 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 blah, you know, and all that other mess, man. Okay, but the Most High is going to mess him up, man. Verse 8, thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. And so now they're going to be spoiled, man, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and all that dwell therein. Woe unto him that coveteth an evil covenant to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the evil, but from the power of evil, man. All right, so Esau has coveteth, you know, and he still is a coveted person, things that were not his, man. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. America was established by rape, robbery, and murder, man. All right. It is like Apostle Ramlab revealed in his video. When you know it's you know, everyone knows about Australia being a prison colony for, you know, Britain. Well, America was too. They sent hundreds of thousands of inmates over here, man. And these are some of the founding citizens, first people to come over here. So they came over here on a bloody, murderous rampage. They were already criminals, man. All right, and we're living in that time where, you know, that spewing has happened against you, that revealing, man, your skirt being lifted. Okay. Verse 16, thou art filled with shame for glory. See, that's a shame. You know, the rape, robbery, the murder, the Jim Crow, when you learn about Black Wall Street, you know, 600 businesses, you know, and so many stores, so many banks, private planes, you know, all the destruction that you, and then that means that the law system was all a part of it, because you took land, property, houses, and homes too, and murdered all those people. You actually dropped bombs on them. I became recently aware that the song that I used to like when I was a kid, man, that you dropped a bomb on me from the Gap Band, was literally written about Black Wall Street, man. Never knew that, man, until recently. All right. And you burned them up, just like the song says. You dropped bombs on them and shot and machine gunned them down and rifled through those things. In the courts systems of America, white judges and lawyers, all you white people went in there. You took over that land, that property, and you coveted. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covenant to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from power of evil, man. All right. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity, man. And Black Wall Street is just one example. You did the same thing here in Chicago in the Black Belt, man. You know, you had the city of Elaine. You know, that whole red summer of I think it was 1919, man. Edomites went on a bloody rampage all across America, slaughtering and killing Jake, man. Taking their properties. And like I said, the court systems, when people were just to keep from being hung to death, from being burned to death, beaten, and watching your daughters being raped and gang raped, all right, and that whole sort of thing, your wives, people fled and they left their homes and houses. And guess what? And then those were just absorbed by so-called white people, and the courts allowed them to do it, man. And they've never made any, and all that, and the hell, the so-called white man was going to Black Wall Street, to Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, to borrow money in business for business ventures, et cetera, et cetera. And then you instituted laws to keep that from ever happening again. Second and third class education, the forming of ghettos, redlining, all right, not allowing us to buy and own property anymore. Okay, the housing. The FHA operated from that point on after Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, in a whites only for the next 40 something, almost 50 years, man. Okay. Verse 16: Thou art filled with shameful glory, drink thou also. Let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, man. So all your glory, man, that you worked hard and you're smart, it's all being exposed now, because you ain't shit, Esau. You just a bunch of murderers and liars, all right? And you pass it on to your children, and your children, you've taught them lies, man. And now it's shameful. That's why they come against this truth so hard, man, because the truth in the scriptures and history comes out when you're watching a Hebrew Israelite video, especially one of from GMS. Okay. This is Isaiah 34, verses starting at verse 1. Come ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear, and all therein, the world and all the things that come forth. For the indignation, meaning his righteous hatred, of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies, and he hath utterly destroyed them, and he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with blood. And the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled as a scroll, and all the host shall fall down as a leaf falleth off the vine, and fall as falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment. Idumea those are the Romans, man. Those are the Edomites. Okay? And all the armies of the earth are being gathered together for their collusion in the destruction of Israel, suppression of our history, to naming us bywords, and hijacking this book, and then lying about it. Okay? Just to prove the last scripture I just read, I'm going to read a precept, 2 Maccabees, man. The 8th chapter, around the 4th verse. All right? 2 Maccabees 8. Yep. And I remember the wicked slaughter of the harmless infants and the blasphemies committed against his name, that he would show his hatred against the wicked. All right. And that wicked, what? It's Esau, man. Okay. All right. And when you go back to Isaiah, First Maccabees, the 1st chapter, man, it lets you know clearly that the people that, when you read the book of Maccabees, that the Maccabees were fighting against were the Romans and the Idumeans, man, the Grecians. Okay. Yep. They were fighting against the Romans, man. As a matter of fact, when you go to verse 9 and 10, in the same said chapter, 2 Maccabees 9, it says, Then forthwith choosing Nicanor, the son of Patroclus, one of his special friends, he sent him no fewer than 20,000 of all the nations under him, to root out the whole generation of the Jews. And with him he was joined also Georgius, a captain, who in matters of war had great experience. So Nicanor undertook to make so much money of the captive Jews that they should defray the tribute of 2,000 talents, which the king was to pay to the Romans, man. The Romans were behind all this, man, because the Romans and the Greeks are the same people. Rome rose up out of Grecia, man, which was all started by Edomites, all right, because Alexander the Crete and his armies were Edomite armies. They were Macedonians of a different bloodline of the Grecians that they took over. And First Maccabees tell you that he, the first in his stead over them, man. He was the first in his stock, his race, to rule over the brown-skinned Etruscans. All right, so they, like I said, controlling the narrative, man. Esau would have the world to believe that the Greeks were white, and they weren't. That's a lie. Okay. This is Psalms 58 and 2. Yeah, and in heart he worked wickedness. Yeah, he weighed violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. And that's what these Edomites do, man. All right. Jump into verse 10 and to finish this lesson. This is Psalms 58 and 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance. All right. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. And the wicked has been identified as Idumea, as Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. So that the man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. All right. Verily, he is a power that judgeth in the earth. So judgment is played out here on earth. And the judgment that has been set forth according to the Bible is the destruction of the nation of Edom. Shalom.